Hey friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and hopefully sell them for a profit. Today is Tuesday, May 13th, and I have 4 days worth of sales that I'm going to be shipping, packaging up, and shipping out. My gross sales amount was $466.06, and I have 19 sales. 9 of these sold in less than a month, and of those, 3 of these sold in less than a week. I have something in here somewhere. It's not the very last, but it's towards the end, that I would say is a bolo. Pretty fantastic sale. And yeah, so let's get started. We're gonna start off with a bra. This took a week to sell. This is a Victoria's Secret bra. It's not really anything too spectacular. This is a Victoria's Secret pink style, line, I guess. And then it says here that it is the Wear Everywhere wireless, lightly lined. It's also convertible, I noticed. And when they're convertible, like the straps can come out and, you can reposition them so that they're crossed in the back or different ways you can wear them. I always try to mention that with bras because some people really like to have the option, or some people only like a certain style of bra. And so I just try to put it in there is what I'm trying to say. All right, it doesn't have a great sell-through rate. The average sale price was $11.70 with a 19% sell-through rate, which isn't super great, but also not terrible for me. It might be terrible for you, but for me, it's not terrible. I try to hit about 25 or more if I can, and sometimes I do that, sometimes I don't. Anyway, this sold for $12 on Poshmark. Now, usually I don't take a sale that low on Poshmark because the fee structure changes, but I've been doing it lately. So it's a flat $2.95 fee on Poshmark after under $15. So after fees, there's no shipping cost on Poshmark. And my cost of goods, which was $1, I bought this at the Bins, which is the Goodwill outlet where you pay by the pound. Most of the items that I buy there, I have an average cost of about $2. But when it's something small, like a bra or hat or like kids clothing, I'll say it's just $1. And there's another example in here. If it's a larger or heavier, I will average that cost as more. So with a $1 cost of goods, my profit is $8.05. So I'm not super sad about making $8 off of $1 in a week. That is pretty great in my opinion. I will share my total profit at the end if I remember. Hopefully I'll remember. So the next item is a pair of pants. There we go. Just had a little fuzzy on it that was sticking. These are kind of like a dark sage. They're not really, I feel like they're showing army green, but it's not really that. These are the brand J. Crew. And there's a couple things that I really liked about this. One, somewhere in here, it says there the favorite fit jean. Oh, it says it right there on that tag. So when it has a style name, it's so much easier to comp. And these also are a linen and cotton blend. They also have kind of a wider leg. Actually, why didn't I try these on? I like these a lot. Anyway, so what I searched was J. Crew linen blend pants, favorite fit women. And because these are women's pants, the average sale price was $22.50 with an 8% sell-through rate. So very, very low. I think I had these listed for $25 and somebody offered me $16 on Poshmark and I went ahead and accepted that. That feels really low compared to the average sale price, but with the sell-through rate being 8%, I'm willing to take that offer, because an 8% sell-through rate means only 8% of the items that have been listed are actually selling. And so I want mine to be one of those 8%, you know? All right. I generally for clothes use a Tyvek mailer if they're selling on Poshmark. And I don't think they have like little flaps that don't stay down, and so I use these little priority mail stickers that you get on just USPS.com with all the free priority stuff. If you don't know, you can get free priority shipping supplies on USPS.com. It comes to your house, and then you just have to only use it when you're actually using and paying for a priority label. So that's the caveat to that. All right, I forgot to finish telling you. All right, this I bought at the bins. Actually, a lot of these items I noticed came from the bin. So they sold for $16 in 10 months. They did take a long time to sell, which again, based on an 8% sell-through rate, that's not surprising. Let's see, I made $10.80. That's okay. So 4 days, that's a long weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. This was not unexpected, but also not well planned and thought out. I didn't really mean to take quite this big of a break, but I am, in my professional life, I am a birth doula, and I actually had a client go into labor Friday, and she had the baby on Sunday, and yesterday I slept. So it was not unexpected, but again, just not very well planned kind of break-ish, if you will. It was not really a break for me because I was working in a different capacity, but this is a dress called Hilo Hattie, made in Hawaii. I buy pretty much anything made in Hawaii. Not that it always sells, but I just do. This does have like a paper tag, and so I don't know much about this particular brand, but this is a midi dress. It has kind of a little cap sleeve. My children are playing and they're very loud. Obviously like a tropical print. The maxi dresses in this brand sell really well. I've had a plus size in this brand sells really well. This is extra large, which isn't, you know, particularly plus size, but you know, a larger size, not just like, I don't know that I've sold or even seen a smaller size. I think I still would buy it. Now, the sell-through rate isn't really that good, but my experience with this is really good. And so I'll buy it. I don't have any more, unfortunately. So hopefully I'll find some over the next few months because they always sell pretty well. This one did take longer to sell. It took 10 months, but it sold for $30. The average sale price, let's see, this one sold on eBay. The average sale price is $26.64 with an 18% sell-through rate. I meant to add, if I get extra distracted, I mean, I get distracted anyway, or if my energy seems real low, it's because I'm still just very tired and worn out from the weekend. So I guess I just felt like I needed to explain that, add that, apologize for that. And now I've forgotten what I was saying. I had this listed for $40 and somebody offered me $30 on eBay. That's very reasonable. My daughter is like scream singing. It's so loud. I don't know if you can hear it, but anyway, I bought this for $5 at a thrift store that I don't usually go to. It's in another town, but I've been a few times and usually like it when I go. I just never go that direction, and so maybe I need to make an effort to go over there more often. So after fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, my profit is $20.76, which is fantastic. 10 months is a little long, but that's okay. It happens. This is a button-up shirt, just like a blue plaid, pretty classic. The brand is Pendleton, And this is called Broadway cloth. It is made in China. When I first started reselling, I've been reselling for 3.5 years. When I first started reselling, Pendleton would sell so fast. Did not matter what it was, it would just sell really fast. The sweaters, obviously, well, maybe you don't know Pendleton, but Pendleton is pretty well known for like their wool stuff. So like their sweaters, I've never sold a blanket, never found a blanket. That would be amazing. But their sweaters would always sell really fast. Their vintage stuff usually sells pretty fast. If you find like a wool flannel, that usually sells really fast. So I need to be more particular about what Pendleton I buy. I did have a pair of women's pants, wool pants, that sold over the weekend, but this morning I woke up to a cancellation on that for some reason. They said they bought it on accident. They bought it like 3 days ago. Like, it was one of the things that sold, I think, on Friday. So, I don't know. Anyway, the average sale price for a Pendleton button-up Broadway cloth, yes, was $13.43 with a 7% sell-through rate. Super low, but it is what it is. I have too much on my desk here. And I had it listed for $20. Somebody offered me $15 on Poshmark, and I accepted. It took 9 months to sell. I bought it for $3 when I was on a road trip with my husband. He was on a work trip, and so I was on a work trip with him. And it was in New York. We went to Corning, New York last summer. This has been listed for 9 months, and after fees, shipping, no shipping costs because it was Poshmark. And my cost of goods, which was $3, I don't know if I said that, my profit's $9. Oh my goodness, I just tripped. All right, this is another thing that when I first started reselling, these would sell really fast. And they're just like these, you know, athletic, like quarter zip shirts. So like not like a sweater or a fleece or a sweatshirt material, but like this is like a performance, whatever kind of feel to it. So this is Under Armour heat gear. Anyway, these used to sell really fast, and if I could find them for $1 or $2, I could sell them for $15 within a month. And I don't know, they just kind of stopped selling. So I don't know, did people stop running? I'm not really sure. But like the heat gear or the cold gear in Under Armour, and they're probably called just someone driving a tractor down my road, no big deal. Life in Indiana. I do not live in the country. Nope. Okay. Oh my word. So I don't know if they still do it, but when I was in high school, they had bring your tractor to work day. Not work, school. Bring your tractor to school day. And seriously, like, people would drive their tractors to school. Whew. Okay. That was a funny memory for me. I think that had I lived on a farm and had a tractor, I probably would have done it. I would love to live in the country and live on a farm right now. That's my dream, but man, it just tickles me. Okay. I'm also really tired. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Under Armour, quarter zip, heat gear. Average sale price is $14.43 with a 5% sell-through rate. Yikes. Mine sold for $12 on Poshmark. I bought it for $1 at a church rummage sale. Took 9 months to sell. My profit's $8.05. I'm probably, unless I can find those, and you know, I don't know. I might still buy them. It depends on where I am. What my mood is. That's not good business sense, by the way. But sometimes it's real. That's sometimes how I make decisions. Okay, this I should have, I don't know if it would have made a difference, but I should have Google Lensed it and found the style name, but I did not do that. And maybe that was a mistake. I don't know. I'm still satisfied with what it sold for, but I'm just telling you that sometimes, especially like some brands, and actually I've been watching Kaylee Elaine's series about As Seen On, like she just did the Gilmore Girls one and Friends, and what else did she do? Like Vampire Diaries or something. That I've never seen, but there's like something wrapped around this strap, which is what I'm just trying to get it off. Okay. Okay, so this is, let's finish the thought, Jen. That would be great. I was just watching those, and as I was watching her series, I was thinking, man, I feel like I should be Google Lensing everything, because there's some things that are just, you're like, whoa, that was worth a lot of money, and that was unexpected. Anyway, this was one of the brands she mentioned on the Gilmore Girls one, but this is a dress. It has kind of like a lacy, almost crochet look to it, and it has like an asymmetrical hem. I don't know if you can see that. It is lined. Here, I'll show you the lace up close. Isn't that cute? Very kind of festival. I used festival, boho, witchy. I don't know. I'm not great with keywords, but anyway, it's free, people. So I know that I just listed a Free People dress. Did I list it? And when I found the name of the dress, the sell-through rate was a little better than just me trying to describe the dress in the search. So anyway, with this one, I just described the dress in the search. So Free People dress, black lacy, lace strappy. Average sale price is $14.60 with an 8% sell-through rate. So had I Google Lensed it and found the style name, or maybe it was worn on some show and I missed out on a huge sale, who knows. This has been listed for 9 months, and it sold for $25 on Poshmark. So this is something else I found at the bins. And so with a $2 cost of goods and $5 fee, 20% fee, my profit is $18. $18. I never say bucks. That felt weird coming out of my mouth. All right. So I have a question for you. Question of the day. It's coming early because I'll forget if I don't do it right now while I'm thinking about it. Do you have something else that you do instead of reselling? Like I said, I'm a birth doula. Friendly reminder to hydrate. I'm drinking a Mojito lime and mint spindrift. It's just sparkling water. It's delicious. I love it. Okay, so I am a birth doula. I also am a spiritual director, which is my passion and ministry. And I'm mostly a wife and a mom and a homeschool mom. So those are the things that I do. These are a pair of swim trunks. They have salt and lime on them. I did put margarita in the title. Words. These are Tommy Bahama. So I just searched Tommy Bahama swim trunks, and the average sale price is $13.60 with a 12% sell-through rate. Maybe I should have Google Lensed these and found like an actual style name or something. I don't know if Tommy Bahama has style names like that. Print names. You know, like Lily Pulitzer has names for her prints. I assume Lily Pulitzer is the person. I don't actually know. Okay, so I had this listed for $20. I send out 20% off offers on eBay. I also do that on Poshmark. Stuff is changing on Poshmark, so I don't know. I don't really want to talk about that right now because I will say something that I will inevitably regret. Yeah, kiddo. Pause the video. I had that listed for $20. 20% off was $16. I found these at the bins, so $2 cost of goods. They took 8 months to sell, which is kind of a while, but $10.80 is my profit. This, I did not find at the bins. This came from a Plato's Closet, and it's just kind of funky and weird. I did Google Lens this and found nothing. It was very frustrating. I was like, are you kidding me? There was just nothing. So that's the back of it. I have, the brand is Akira, which I don't know what that is. But I just thought it was funky, and I think it was a 70% off sale at a Plato's Closet. So I spent I spent $3 on it. But yeah, it would have been helpful. I did use 90s Style and Clueless because that's what it reminded me of. And when I Google Lensed it, those things came up. But not this like exact dress. I don't know, it's really frustrating. There also was like no comp information on any Akira patchwork dress. So mine was the only one that had sold. Looked similar. Good. Can you tell me what time it is? Oh, it's time to go. Had to go play chauffeur. That's another thing I do instead of reselling. Drive kids around. All right, I don't remember what all I said. There was no sell-through rate information. This sold for $25. I had it listed for $40. I was kind of guessing, and somebody offered me $25, and I was like, yeah, that sounds reasonable. So I've had this for 3 months. I bought it at a Plato's Closet, and I paid $3. Did I say that? And my profit is $17. So that's cool. I'm good with that. I aim for $15 in profit just to value my time, but sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. On average, I think I'm a little over that, so not by an excessive amount, but that's all right. Okay, I feel like maybe I need the door open behind me. I feel like my lighting is bad. Okay, this is gonna need just a little bit of a lint roll. It's not terrible. Hang with me. It's corduroy, which is kind of an interesting thing to be selling in May. Because for me, anyway, I always think of corduroy as a, you know, fall and winter material, but here we are. Maybe someone's preparing, or they live in a colder climate, or they don't care. Who knows? Okay, this is a skirt. It's like midi length, it's below the knee. It is corduroy, navy blue. It has kind of a cool, like, it's like flat pockets in the back. Has these pockets in the front. Actually, I think the flat pockets are the front. And the zipper is in the back. I'm gonna say that's true. Okay, that's Bowden. Bowden is a brand that's talked about a lot. I think I hear about it a lot. I don't think it sells super well. When I say well, I mean quickly and for, you know, at least my $15 in profit. And yeah, I think the sell-through rate kind of agrees with me. The average sale price for a Bowden corduroy midi skirt is $25.16, and the sell-through rate is only 10%. So, you know, that's kind of low. This one sold for $20. That was probably an offer that was sent to me, or not. It's sold on Poshmark, so I don't know. Yes, it's sold on Poshmark. And let's see, I paid $2 for it at my new favorite thrift store, and that was 3 months ago. So after fees and my cost of goods, my profit is $14. That's doable. All right, I feel like that was navy, but I feel like there's a lot of like black and like dark in this little, it's not a haul, I don't know. Anyway, these I bought thinking I might like them, and they're petites, and I'm not anywhere close to a petite. I'm 5'8". So this is a pair of pants. They're like stretchy, and I'm gonna call that a straight leg. This is Beta brand. And they have, you know, like a really nice elastic. I'm a big fan of an elastic waist. Just comfortable. I'm currently wearing jeans with an elastic waist. All right, curly hair problems. My ponytails never want to look nice. Okay, Beta brand, if you haven't seen it. This is a plus size, so it's a 1X, which is why I thought it might fit me. But I kind of missed the petite part, I think, when I was thinking they would fit me. But I bought it at that same thrift store, my new favorite thrift store, for $2. These I've had for 2 months, and Beta brand doesn't have a great sell-through rate. In fact, it's 5%. But I think possibly because of the petite, I find that petite sizes, or even better, tall or long sizes, sell quicker. Sometimes for a little bit more money, but not necessarily. Actually, I think that might have been the case for this. So I looked up Beta brand pants in a plus size, and the average sale price was $22.17 with a 5% sell-through rate. Yikes, that's rough. Yeah, so I had mine listed for $24.95, and someone bought them with I have a 15% off coupon that I have on my store almost all the time. I will sometimes take it off if I'm running a sale for whatever reason I happen to be running a sale. And yeah, so with shipping, they paid $29.03. I paid $2. I think I already said that. They took 2 months to sell, which is phenomenal considering that crazy low sell-through rate. But after all of the fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, oh, these did sell promoted. So I do promote my items. I usually play around with the promotions anywhere between 2 and 5%. I think they're currently at 4%. So I paid an extra $1.16 in fees for these pants. So fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, that makes my profit $14.26. So just at that, or did I say 96? $14.96. Yeah, 4 cents shy of my goal. I will gladly take that. All right, my pile is getting smaller, which is good. When I got home yesterday, or not yesterday, on Sunday evening, I was like, that's good, I'll get up. I checked my email before I went to bed and, you know, accepted offers or countered offers. And I was like, I'll just get up and do all my shipping, and it just didn't happen. It didn't happen. All right, this is a tunic. So a tunic is not necessarily the length, but just the fact that there's like a split in the side. That's my understanding. This has a pretty fun little bell sleeve. This is the brand Cynthia Rowley, and it's 100% linen. I will only buy Cynthia Rowley if it's 100% linen. Does Cynthia Rowley make anything that's not 100% linen? I don't know. Anyway, the average sale price for Cynthia Rowley linen top is $17.62 with a 19% sell-through rate. This one's for $20 on Poshmark, so that's great. I love that. Again, something I found at the bins for a $2 average cost of goods. This one took a month to sell, and my profit is $14. that is what I like to call a win. If I could do that, just a simple, easy top to list over and over and over, pay $2 and make 15, I would not be sad about it. These are some shorts, and they are a faux leather, and they're very high rise. ASOS is the brand. I did not look these up before I bought them. They're a US size 14, which is nice. I actually had these in a video. I think it was like a work with me kind of type video. I bought like 2 pairs of shorts and 2 skirts at a Plato's Closet on probably a 70% off. I don't know. I don't really buy things at Plato's Closet very much, but it seems like when I do, they sell. So I don't have a Plato's in our town, and I don't know. I think I just prefer to go to thrift stores when I'm out of town. So anyway, the ASOS faux leather shorts have an average sale price of $20.90 with a 3% sell-through rate. When I showed them in the video, someone said, oh, try vegan leather instead of faux leather. And I've had some issues saying vegan leather because not all faux leather is actually considered vegan. And I don't really ever want to claim to understand that. So maybe I need to look into it a little more, like what is faux leather, what is vegan leather. I think that I ended up putting vegan in the description or like in the item specifics on eBay. I'm not really sure. I know I didn't put it in the title, but I do remember looking it up and the sell-through rate not really changing with adding vegan instead of faux. So anyway, I had this listed for $24.95 and somebody bought it with my 15% off coupon on eBay. They paid a total of $28.61. It took a month to sell. Not bad considering the 3% sell-through rate. That's insane. And I paid $3.25 for them, like I said, at that Plato's Closet, and my profit is $14.67. Nice. This is going to be hard to show you. It is a wrap skirt. It's a maxi length wrap skirt, so it's unwrapped here. But maybe you can, you know, picture it in your mind's eye. The brand is And Other Stories, and this is the only thing I've ever found in this brand. Is this Anthropologie or is it something else? The RN number is, I don't know. It's not on there. The RN number, I know it starts with a 6 for Anthropologie, but I kind of think it's an Anthropologie brand. I'm not seeing an RN number anywhere, which is interesting. Anyway, this is a really, really small size, like an extra small. It's a 2, it's a size 2. So this is not gonna do well. Here we go. There we go. There was no sell-through rate information, none. There were none sold. Mine was the only one even listed. So I don't know. I don't know. I listed it, I think, for $30 and it sold for $24 on Poshmark. Now, if you don't know, if you're new and you're like, you're talking about comps, but I don't know what you're talking about, I look up comps on eBay. When I am looking them up, I use the eBay product research tool, which is in the Seller Hub. Now, even though it's sold on Poshmark, I don't go and check comps on Poshmark, or sometimes I sell on Depop. I haven't, like, there were no sales over these 4 days on Depop. So I really never look on Depop because I wouldn't even know where to start. But I feel like it's harder to find accurate, like, sell-through rate information on Poshmark than on eBay. But I could be wrong about that. I just don't have a whole lot of experience with it. So Anyway, this sold for $24. I've had it for 4 months. Again, found at the bins. So average cost of goods was $2. And that makes my profit $17.20. I'm running out of room down there. I guess it's a good problem to have. This I thought was so cute. Also found at the bins. This is a swimsuit. It's a halter style in like super brand new condition. I always flip the inside of in between the legs and show a picture of that in my listings on any used swimsuits. And then this is Suddenly Slim by Catalina. I don't know. So I looked up halter, swim, one piece, ruffle, cherries. I think that was it. Because I thought like the style was more what sold it, necessarily, not necessarily the brand that sold it. And the average sale price was $14 because it was only mine. And there was one more listed. I didn't look to see what that one was because it was a 50% sell-through rate. And then I looked up Catalina one piece and the average sale price was $14 with a 14% sell-through rate. So someone offered me 14. I had this listed for, I think 24 or 25, maybe just 20. I don't remember exactly. But it sold for $14 plus shipping. They paid a total of $20.21. Took 2 weeks to sell. That's it. I found at the bins with my $2 cost of goods. My profit is $9.88. Fantastic. I'll take it. I mean, it was easy to take photos of. Someone did ask a question because usually, so when I take pictures of jeans and tops or pants tops, I always do measurements and I take the picture and put the picture of the measurement in the listing. I don't do that with like bras, hats, swimsuits. And so I didn't have any measurements. And someone did ask me for a measurement on that. So I did have to like dig it out and do the measurement, but the end of it, the day, it wasn't that big of a deal. These are a pair of jeans. And these, no, this is not it. I was thinking they had a really good sell-through rate. They don't. It's the next thing that has a pretty good sell-through rate. This is Adriano Goldschmied. And this is called the Ex-Boyfriend Slim Slouchy Slim. Let's say slim twice apparently. Anyway, I looked up Adriano Goldschmied jeans, Ex-Boyfriend Slim Slouchy, and the average sale price was $29.71 with a 6% sell-through rate, which is crazy. Why did I price these so high? I priced them at $34.95 and they sold with my 15% off coupon. So I'm thrilled with that. They paid a total of $37.53. Did you hear that bird? It's going crazy. And I bought these at the bins. Again, a bins find. So I paid $2 and turned it into $22.04. These did sell promoted. I paid an extra $1.50. I think I've already talked about that. And they sold in 2 weeks. So I'm not really sure what I did. I do know that I would have gone through and looked at like the specific size and priced. I probably priced right at the lowest priced one in that size, if that makes sense. It's generally what I do if the sell-through rate is super low. And then they still will have that 15% off coupon to use, or I send out 20% off offers. This has a decent sell-through rate. These are a pair of scrub pants. And these have like, I don't know that this mauve is necessarily like exciting, but this is a Carhartt pair of scrub pants. If you don't know, first of all, this is Carhartt Force. I don't know what that means, but some sort of line. But on the tag, gives you all the information, And then here, there's a code, like a style code. And you just plug that in. So I looked up Carhartt, what is it? C52110. And the average sale price is $13.82, but the sell-through rate is 37%, which is the highest one you've heard so far today. So I feel like that's really good. It might not be if your goal is, you know, 50% or higher, but I don't find those very often. Very, very rarely, actually. So I sell what I can find, and sometimes I still do decent with things that I can find, which is good. These sold for $15 on Poshmark. Probably would have had them listed for $20. I would imagine it took less than 2 weeks to sell. Again, I found them at the bins. So I have $2 as my cost of goods, and that makes my profit $10. It was a pretty easy $10. I will tell you, and I talk about this at the end of, or the beginning of every month when I do like a monthly breakdown of my income and costs and everything. I do pay my oldest daughter to take pictures. So I guess in reality, she takes pictures of all my pants, shorts, skirts, anything that hangs on like a clippy hanger. And so I guess in reality, you know, it was $1 less than that, but I do add that to my expenses and stuff in my monthly breakdown, but it just doesn't come out of, I just do fees, cost of goods and shipping costs when I'm sharing with you on a regular daily basis. I think the point of me saying that is just that there are other costs associated with reselling. It's not just those 3 costs. So keep that in mind. All right, this is it. This is the bolo, if you were waiting. And I still have a couple, actually 2 really good things after that, so don't just click off. I mean, you can if you want. I'm not forcing you to do anything. All right, this is it. Seriously, it's just a black t-shirt. Like, what? It's just a black t-shirt. It's not just a black t-shirt. It is merino wool. The brand is Wool X, like one word, Wool X. It's 100% Australian merino wool. And this sucker sold in like 4 days. I don't remember exactly what day it sold over the weekend, but it definitely sold really fast and for like exactly what I wanted it to sell for. So the average sale price is $37.85. And the sell-through rate is 79%. What the actual what? Oh my. Yes. So I'm super excited about that. 79% is insane. That's so high. Somebody who calculates sell-through rate differently might say that's more than 100% sell-through rate. So that's amazing. I'm really, really excited about it. So I listed this for $50, knowing I send out 20% off coupons. And it sold for $39.96. Exactly where it should have. So I'm really, really thankful. Real excited about that. Okay, so it did sell on eBay with shipping. They paid $45.48. There we go. I paid $1 for it at my new favorite thrift store. Insane. It was not yet promoted, so I don't have extra fees on that. My profit is $33.54. So exciting. I love sales like that. This gets me so excited. It makes, like, renews my excitement for reselling, you know? All right, this this is a sweater. And I had like dumped it in a pile of sweaters to photograph last, because while I list all things all the time, when I have a bunch of stuff, I will like find the seasonal, like things that make sense in this season and list them first. and then go through and list the other things, if that makes sense. So anyway, this is J. Jill, and I pulled it out of the pile of sweaters, and it's linen. It's a linen sweater. It's linen and cotton. I was like, shoot. So I've had it for like a month, but it sold in less than 5 days because I didn't have it listed earlier. And I have a couple other like J. Jill linen items that haven't sold, but this, I think that print was just, it just puts it over the top. Anyway, J. Jill linen cotton sweater, average sale price is $18.45 with a 16% sell-through rate. The sell-through rate is still really low, but maybe you've seen a pattern, I have, in that sometimes the low sell-through rate things sell still pretty fast. So I had this listed for $24.95. They used my 15% off coupon. With shipping, they paid $28.46. I bought it at the bins. That's how I know I've had it for a month, because I haven't been to the bins in over a month. Actually, yeah, it was March when I went, so way over a month. I probably had it for 6 weeks, 7 weeks at this point. Anyway, my profit is $16.20. Love that. All right, last thing is actually one of those, like, this sold really fast. It sold really fast. Again, less than 5 days. So I don't know if I'm gonna completely undo this thing. This is a pair of coveralls, and it has like reflective stripping all over it. I want to show you the important things though. How do I do that? Okay, here we go. Found the top of it. So this is Just in Trend, which seems like a weird name for, like, is it a trendy coverall? I don't know. It's definitely work. So it's FR treated, so it's fire resistant. And then I added this UL certified. I don't know what that means or if it was important, but I did add it. Anyway, it also had this patch on it, which didn't really seem to matter. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad or neutral, but anyway, these FR coveralls, Just in Trend, with that brand, have an average sale price of $31.84. I did it again. $31.48. I get numbers switched in my head real easy. 11% sell-through rate. That's it. 11% is not high. And these sold in less than 5 days. It's crazy. So I need my bigger poly mailers. Someone sent me all these cute poly mailers, and oh my word, I love them so much. They just make my heart happy. These came from Shipping Hit, and I actually went on Shipping Hit because these are actually, they're made from recycled materials, which I love. And they don't have them on their site, which is really a bummer. Get more of those, Shipping Hit, I would love it. Anyway, like they were all sold out, not that they didn't exist. They also have like this perforated strip, so you can pull it off and then reuse it. Isn't that great? I love it. I'm a little, I might tape that down actually, because it's, the perforation has started and I don't want it to come undone. Okay, so focus, Jen, focus, you're almost done. You can do it. I think it's, I either need a nap or coffee, or both. Okay, couple things exciting about this actually. So I had this listed for $39.95 and it sold with my 15% off coupon. They paid a total of $41.03. Now this sold from the international shipping program, that's what they call it. So I don't have to do anything other than ship it to Chicago it goes to a hub in Chicago, and then the people at the hub in Chicago will send it to wherever it's going. And someone, the last time I didn't look, and someone commented and said, will you please tell us where it's going? It's going to New Zealand, which is interesting. So they would have paid the $41.03 plus then extra shipping to get it from Chicago to New Zealand. This is the thing that I bought at the bins that is obviously bigger than everything else. So I said that it was $4 cost of goods. It sold in less than 5 days and my profit is $25.48. Fantastic. All right, this is, I used a napkin to write some of my numbers down today. My profit for those 4 days was $294.43. If I divide that by 4, I made $73.60 per day, which is just great. My goal is to make $67 a day or $2,000 a month. And so a little bit more than that just gives me a little buffer room for those days when I don't quite hit my goal, which happens lately often. So, okay. I think that's it for me. If you didn't answer my question, or if you just, want to add to the fun, maybe leave a little celebration emoji if you made it to the end. I appreciate you watching. Make sure you like the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you. I'll see you soon.